Warning. On this podcast, we take the cases seriously, but not ourselves.
Although, we may attempt to lighten the mood at times.
Our episodes contain graphic descriptions that some listeners may find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised. The most unexpected feud of 2026 has arrived.
Go on.
I've got beef with a book retailer.
Why?
So it's a very well-known book retailer in the US. I'm trying to get a book, Neil.
Right.
And I can't find it anywhere. I'm struggling to get it online. I'm struggling to get it on like Google Books or what have you. Yeah?
Mm.
It's almost mythical at this point.
Right.
But it is available at this bookstore in the US. So I was like, right, okay, shipping's probably going to be ridiculous, but let me have a look. You never know. Went onto their website, checked where they ship to. They say they ship to all countries.
Except Ireland.
Excluding these list of countries. Do you know how many countries are on the list?
Go on.
55. You don't ship to all countries then. You ship to certain countries. And this wasn't just like a list of European countries.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was all over the gaff. All over the place they're not shipping to. It's not like a certain area or continent. All over the gaff. 55. How can you claim you ship to all countries excluding these? You ship to, you could say maybe majority. Some.
So it's probably like...
A few.
How many countries is there in the world?
There's a lot. There's kind of two figures. It depends on what's being counted. One's like 195, one's like 249, I think.
I see, I thought there were less than 60.
Less than 60 countries.
Yeah. What do you class as a country?
A country.
No, like, stop messing about. What do you class as a country?
What do you mean, what do I class as a country?
Like, how many countries could you name?
Quite a few.
Bet you couldn't more than 60.
Oh, no, I could name more than 60. This isn't going to be the starter. Us listing countries.
Right.
No, but what is your question like regarding like territories and stuff like the Vatican? Is that kind of what you're getting at? Like it's in Italy, but it's its own thing. Is that what you're kind of like whether that would be counted or not?
No, that's Italy.
Well, then what's your point?
I don't know. I'm sure I had one, but I never knew. Well, I never thought there'd be 200 countries.
You never thought you'd live to see the day?
No. Like...
How many... What'd you say, 60 you thought?
No more.
No more.
No more than 60.
Yeah.
Well,
Europe alone, you know what I mean? You're not far off that.
No.
Yes.
In Europe?
Yes.
You're talking about 20.
20.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's including like Eastern Europe and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of Europe. The eastern part.
Yeah. Yeah. About 20 in Europe. Like I'm not one of these idiots who thinks Belgium is part of France and shit like that. I know Belgium's its own country. I've been. But in Europe, I could name no more than 20. Right, I'll tell you where I'm at. So you said 50 odd countries they don't ship to. Yeah?
55 to be specific.
Yeah, 55. Right? But so that made me think, oh, well that means all they ship to is like America, Canada, Puerto Rico, Mexico. That'd be about it.
Yeah.
Hawaii.
No, they ship to all the countries except 55 of them.
Oh.
Right. Well,
so what the fuck do they ship to if they ship to 150 countries?
Right. In Europe, I'm pretty sure that there's 40 odd countries in Europe. I don't know the exact numbers, but 40 odd, yeah?
Right.
I probably should know the number. That's probably really bad. 40 odd countries in Europe will say, right?
Yeah.
They don't ship to more countries than there is in Europe, if you get what I mean. I know that sentence was formatted horribly. But do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a lot of countries
Yeah.
to try and claim you ship to all countries except them. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think 55 is an exceptionally high number to still be saying we ship to all countries excluding.
Well, who's the company?
Oh, I will not name them.
No, shit on them. What?
No, I'm not. That's giving them a shout out. I'm not mentioning their name. They're
Well,
successful enough. Pretty much every American listener will probably be like, yeah, I know exactly what they're on about.
Okay.
I've had trouble with their shipping many a time.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I probably haven't if they're in the US. They ship to you next day, probably.
Let me I'll have a dig around for this book for you. If I can. Like, if you can give me the title of the book and it doesn't give everything away. So it ruins the episode. But yeah, I'll have a look for you.
I was very put out by that. I was very annoyed that I couldn't find this book and I was searching for it. That was, the first thing that ruined my day. But then when I read this was just, I took it personally.
Yeah.
Not only will you not ship to me for whatever reason, but that you have the audacity to say you ship to all countries.
Yeah.
Excluding 55 of them.
See, this is a sore topic for you, but our listeners will probably find it funny. I was going to suggest we use AddressPal because we have an American address for that. But Megan doesn't like it because I abused it when we first got it.
And it cost me €75.
Cost you?
Yes.
Why did it cost you?
Because it was linked to my fucking account.
Are we thinking of the same thing?
Yes, we are.
It wouldn't be 75.
It was 75. There was only one thing you ordered that was outrageous. Not an argument we got into, but we got into a bit of a discussion about it.
Yeah. We had a scrap.
A little bit. €75.
Do you want to tell them what it was?
I don't want to ever address this topic. It disgusted me, so you go ahead.
I bought some bottled mineral water.
Bottled water he bought from the US. Water.
Which one was it? It was
Smart water, core. I don't know. Like, you just having absolute notions. Thinking it was going to be different. It's water.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Smart Water. Smart Water's British. Core. Was that it? Core?
It was a big, stupid fucking bottle.
And I bought like 12 of them.
Ridiculous. No, I don't even want to get into it, but can I just ask why? Why did you do that?
The bottle looked good, and
it's a plastic fucking bottle.
And the water was supposed to be nice.
It's water.
No. This is an argument me and you have been in many, many times. So Megan thinks there's no difference when you're drinking water. That absolutely fucking is. This is why in America...
Never said that.
You fucking what?
No, I haven't. I've said there's a difference between, depending on where you are, tap water will taste different. Yeah. And I said when you get water in a plastic bottle, it has that plastic taste to it. But at the end of the day, water's water. Is it safe to drink? Drink it. Get on with it. Stop being so over the top.
Yeah, but there's pH levels and there's not vitamins, minerals.
You rarely even drink water, so I don't understand what the issue is. Like, why do you care?
Well, I drank them.
Total was probably about €100 for some water.
For 12 bottles of water. It was
absolutely insane. One of the biggest issues there's ever been between us. No, it was. I couldn't believe you.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation many times about you just buying stupid shit. That was one of the most ridiculous purchases. Not because of what it was, it's because of what you were buying from where.
Yeah. Yeah.
In hindsight, at least you realise it was scandalous.
Yeah.
Do you know, sorry, just speaking of feuds as well, Neil's also in a bit of a feud as well at the moment. With a knife. He currently has plasters all over his fingers. He's going around looking like fucking Michael Jackson with the finger tape.
Well, I said like a wrestler in the 80s.
Yeah.
From WWF. Yeah, no, that was my bad. I was trying to separate some frozen burgers. And yeah.
The knife won.
Yeah, the knife won. So, we have a shout out.
We do indeed.
So, this week, the new Patreon member, the new mortal, is Sarah.
Sarah.
Yeah. Now, I quickly came up with one, which I was quite happy with, so I didn't harp on it too much and think of any more. I think this is a winner. As Nigel Farage once said, "Ooh ah, Sarah up the ra."
Is that a direct quote?
Yes.
It wouldn't matter if it wasn't, or he'd still deny it.
So, what about we just call her Nige?
Nige?
Yeah, because Nigel Farage said...
That's an awful association to have, though.
Yeah.
I was thinking Sarah Connor, Terminator. That's a good one. Or we just call her Linda, after the actress. What do you think of the name Linda? Terminator's quite strong, though. I feel like she wouldn't appreciate Linda after me suggesting Terminator.
Yeah, but do you know when I hear the name Linda,
I
think like bitch PA.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know, the PA who thinks she's
Certain
more important.
connotation, yes.
She's a PA, but she thinks she's more important. Like the company's going to fall apart if I'm not here.
Works in the GP office.
Yes. Yeah. One of them bastards. Yeah.
Okay, so GP receptionist.
Mortal reception. So she is the official receptionist. She is the official receptionist of the mortals. She is a mortal receptionist. Will that do you?
I mean, it's going to have to.
Well, we can just fabricate it and call her GP receptionist.
I'm not calling her Nige. I think you're really doing her dirty with that one. Terminator might be a bit strong. We haven't got to know Sarah yet.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see if she lives up to that. But yeah, I think mortal receptionist, we'll stick with that for now.
Mortal receptionist.
It's a bit wordy, isn't it?
Mortal rep. Mortal assistant. Mortal assistant.
Mortal assistant.
Yeah.
That sounds like she's like, you know, helping people on their way to death.
Well, she might like that.
All right, mortal assistant.
Yeah, mortal assistant. We'll stick with that.
Well, mortal assistant, thank you. We appreciate you. And don't forget, lads, if you would like some assistance on your mortal journey, see what I did there?
Yeah.
You can head on over to Patreon, where Sarah, the mortal assistant, will guide you towards the early ad-free episodes.
Well, it's not just Sarah. Sarah. Up the ra.
Anyway, yeah, join her for some ad-free early episodes, a bit of bonus content, catch up on Neil's new venture into pirates. Ooh, it's going to be a good one.
See, you're taking the piss, but people are enjoying it.
I'm not taking the piss. I'm being absolutely serious.
Well, you tell your tone.
Well, do you know what? Like, if you, maybe you're not into pirates and you think, well, fuck Neil, I'm not doing that. I'm not joining Patreon for that. That's absolutely fine. Leave us a rating and review, yous bastards. I've come in strong again. Last time I was a bit too approachable.
Yeah.
Again, I'm making it more aggressive again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. You'll get some fist if you don't. So, what have you got for us today?
Well, today, Neil, we are going to be talking about the murder of Sharon Lecia Schollmeyer.
Okay. Bit of a mouthful.
Do you think?
Yeah, Sharon Lecia
Schollmeyer.
Schollmeyer.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's a bit of a gobful, isn't it?
Which you take an issue with? Is it the two names thing again, or is it the last name?
Well, the three names.
Well, you'll be happy to know that Lecia went by Lecia. She cut out the Sharon.
So what did you say Sharon for?
It's her full name.
Okay.
She clearly preferred to go by Lecia.
Right. Never heard that name before.
Do you prefer Sharon or Lecia?
Lecia.
Oh, good, because that's what you're going to be hearing a lot more.
Because Sharon is another, like, GP fucking receptionist name.
No, Sharon's trouble.
Yeah. But Sharons can usually fight as well.
100%. What about Shannon? Shannon can fight as well. 100%.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sharon, not Shannon.
No, Lecia. She doesn't go by Sharon.
No, I'm about to say her full name again.
Okay.
Sharon not Shannon, Lecia Schollmeyer, was born on the 16th of January 1961 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. More commonly referred to as Lecia, her family said that even as a child, she was always an incredibly independent person. She was confident, intelligent, outgoing, and adventurous. She was the eldest of her siblings, and having had Lecia at a young age, her mother Sally said that it resulted in her treating Lecia as more of a little sister rather than a daughter at times. Her sister Bridget seemed to second this thought and said that Lecia was kind of like a mini mother to her. She was her everything, and with Lecia, she always felt secure. By the age of 16, Lecia felt ready to start her own life, and so she got her own apartment in downtown Salt Lake City. Of course, this is very young to make the decision to be out on your own, but to her mother, who had been married by the same age, had a baby by the age of 17, this to her didn't seem that abnormal for her daughter to be seeking independence at that age either. With that said, it still wouldn't have been easy for her. Her mother said, quote, "She wanted to leave home and create a life for herself. I was very upset, but rather than be alienated from her, I went along with her."
Salt Lake City.
What about it?
Supercross. But actually, right, so it is a good track, right? But from doing this pod, what are we on now? This is episode 147. The amount of times you've brought up Salt Lake City,
Have I?
A lot.
Have I though?
It's been in a lot of episodes. So do you know what I'm taking Salt Lake City to be now? The equivalent of the village in Midsummer Murders. Everyone just snuffs it.
I don't think we've talked about Salt Lake City that much. Someone's going to do a supercut now of all the times I've said Salt Lake City.
You've definitely said it a few times already.
I'm trying to think of a case that was in Salt Lake City.
Oh.
Can you name one off the top of your head?
You're joking?
So, fixation on Salt Lake City aside, what's your opinion on Lecia being out on her own at 16?
Yeah, it is a bit young, isn't it? But in this case, so in the UK at 16, you're out of school and everything else. You're classed as an adult.
No, you're not.
Kind of. Compared to America, at 16, in America, you're still a child.
Same in the UK.
Well, no, because you're out of school.
But that doesn't make you an adult. You're 18 to be an adult in the UK, to be considered an adult.
Yeah, but in America, they're still at school, but they're running around with...
They're doing some things.
Yeah.
But the same with us, not firearms, but drinking. I mean, they don't drink till they're 21.
But they drive.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't understand how you can operate a vehicle, but you can't have a...
You can't go on a slot machine.
Yeah. You're 21 to gamble as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. Lottery ticket.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that it should be 18 to drink and gamble, but I find it very odd that drinking and gambling is oh, no, that's dangerous. That can lead to bad things.
But shoot this gun.
But yeah. Cletus. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's very odd.
Mm.
And again, for any, American listeners who are like, oh, why are you being so weird about it? Because it's not...
Why are you being weird?
Because that's we've had that reaction before. It's because it's not normal for the rest of the world. The majority of the world doesn't operate like that.
Yeah.
So,
even your friendly neighbours, Canada, they'll look at you and be like, what are you doing?
That's what they say. Anyway, back to Lecia. We're getting very distracted today.
Mm.
Now, moved out at the age of 16. Her mother, was a little bit concerned, but I think she made the right decision in that if her daughter was going to do it, she's like, I'm going to go along with her. I'm not going to kind of, cause damage to the relationship by going against her.
Yeah.
And her mother also said that she didn't doubt her daughter's ability to care for herself, and Lecia would call her mother every Thursday night at 7 p.m. to check in. Overall, Lecia was managing on her own, and she financially supported herself through employment as a waitress. But there was an incident which had rattled her a bit. There was one day as she arrived home from work, Lecia found that someone had broken into her apartment. Now, I don't mean she'd left the door unlocked or a window open. The door was off the fucking hinges.
Proper kicked in.
Yeah. Now, Lecia didn't have much. Probably her most expensive possession was her television. Even at that, it wasn't an expensive set. But one of the things they did take was the $50 worth of tips, which she had saved up.
They kicked the door in for $50.
Well, $50 to a 16-year-old in, sorry, I didn't actually say the year, 1977,
Oh, okay.
is a fair amount of cash.
Yeah. Could get a car for that in Sheffield.
Well, I'm sure it's stung a bit,
Yeah.
you know? After this incident, Lecia felt a bit uneasy and decided to look for a new apartment, although she wasn't rushing to find somewhere new and instead decided to wait until her lease was up. On the 5th of December 1977, Lecia doesn't show up for work. This was completely out of character for her and it caused some concern. The restaurant where Lecia worked, they became worried about her and decided to call her mother to check in on her. Again, this isn't like Lecia, someone who was considered to be reliable and dependable, and so her mother drops by her apartment to check on her. With no answer at the door, her mother contacts the apartment manager who lets her into her daughter's apartment. Little did she know the scene she was about to walk into. Within the apartment, they find Lecia laid face down in the bathtub in about 6 inches of water. She was nude and had a scarf tied around her face, covering her nose and eyes. She'd also been gagged using a halter top. Her cause of death was strangulation, and she did not have any defensive wounds. Upon witnessing this sight, her mother didn't even enter the bathroom. She knew immediately that her daughter was dead. And so she just turned to the apartment manager and told him to call the police. Alicia's apartment showed no signs of forced entry, but it was a somewhat chaotic scene within her home. Her drawers had been rifled through and items of clothing had been shredded. Her blanket had been thrown out of the window and was tied to the fire escape with the fabric draping over the edge. A knife laid on the floor of the bathroom on top of the bath mat, and there was a piece of rope within the bathtub. The knife found at the scene did come from Lecia's kitchen and had not been brought in by the killer, which could indicate that this was more of a crime of opportunity.
Did she have a fella?
I do not believe so, no.
Right.
She did have quite a lot of friends, but I do not believe she had a partner at the time.
Okay. Because my first thought was the person who'd broke in before and nicked the money had come back, but she's let this person in. And they've got to the kitchen and they've got a knife and there's no defensive wounds.
Yeah.
So it's someone she knows.
Yeah, I mean, because the contrast, immediately you think about the break-in, but the contrast between kicking a door off the fucking hinges
And been let in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if they had broken in, it was very calculated. They planned it. So if it was the previous people, they definitely scoped the place out. Now, although the apartment was in disarray, nothing had been stolen. Because of this, police began to believe that the scene had been staged to look like a robbery. Something that did baffle investigators was that not only had nothing been stolen, but Lecia's stereo, which had been stolen during the previous break-in, had been returned and placed back in her bedroom.
What?
Now
that's a thinker.
It really is. It's a head scratcher, that one.
No, you're taking piss, but I'm deadly serious. That's...
Well, like I said, it baffled investigators.
Baffled me.
Alicia's last known contact was on the 3rd of December, 2 days before the discovery of her body, when she had gone out shopping with her mother. She was murdered on Sunday the 4th of December, so by the time she was found on the 5th, her body had been in the water for a prolonged period of time, and because of this, much of the DNA evidence had degenerated due to her body being left in the water or had simply been washed away. And because of this, they did not find any evidence of sexual assault.
Right. I don't want to jump the gun.
Okay.
Well, no, that's not true. I'm gonna. I think I've solved it.
Okay.
Right. Hear me out.
Okay.
With the stereo back.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know how you often talk about some men who have the hero complex?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, they got robbed. Stereo's gone.
Mm-hmm.
A bloke, I don't know who yet, but a bloke has got it back, brought it back to her. So obviously let in with open arms.
And she's not responding how he'd like her to.
Yes.
Mm.
That's what I think.
That's a good theory.
Am I right?
You may be.
Okay. I think that's what it is. He's like, I got this back for you. Give us one. And she's like, no. And he's like, well, I don't accept no as a reasonable response. I got you your stereo back.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get a knife.
Yeah.
And then I think,
yeah. Well, you're over 21. You can place your bet on the table.
that's my bet.
Yeah, you're sticking with that. You're happy.
All
Put it
in.
forward.
All
in.
in.
Okay.
That's the only thing what makes sense to me with the stereo being back in a property. It's either that or she staged the robbery for insurance.
Mm.
So the stereo was never gone.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the only other thing I can think of, but at 16, that won't go through your head.
Unless you're from Sheffield.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Uh-huh. Now, as the attack took place within her home, and the apartment manager did enter the home with the mother and find her, they wanted to speak to him for, not just because he was first in the scene, but he's in the building.
Mm.
So he's seeing everyone coming and going. But again, with the amount of people coming and going, including visitors, he struggled to give any detail that the detectives thought was of note. They did learn that Lecia was quite a social person, and she had many friends both at work and in school.
Mm. Sorry, I have a suspect.
Okay.
The apartment manager.
Okay. Why do you think him?
Because he's the only fella around. And he would have a key to the fucking door. And there's no defensive wounds because she was asleep. She could have been in bed. She could have been in the bath. So that's why there's no defensive wounds. I think he brought the stereo back and he was like, look what I got back for you. And then she gave him elbow. So he walked off with blog on. And he was like, right, fucking getting her back. I can unlock the door and go in as I please.
Mm.
And then did this.
So where are you placing your bets? You got to pick one.
But they're both the same.
Oh, sorry, you think he's the one who... He's the man from your previous theory?
Yes.
Okay. As they begin to compile a list of those she was acquainted with, believing her killer was known to her, one of the names on the list sparks their interest. It was a man named Lonnie Passy. Lonnie lived in the apartment directly below Lecia and had recently been released from prison. The reason for his 6-year incarceration was a bar fight which resulted in somebody's death. No good, Lonnie.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean there's a connection. Just because he twatted someone in a bar fight and killed someone by mistake, that doesn't say, right, you killed a 16-year-old girl. I'd be more likely to think he's the one who nicked the stereo.
Right. But who said it means he's connected?
Them. They're saying the name drawn out straight away just because of that. And it's like, well, that's got nothing.
Well, if you have been involved or a part of, the reason why someone has died, you are going to stand out slightly more than just someone who happened to work in the same restaurant as her. It's going to stand out a little bit more. It's going to be something a little bit more of note.
I think I'd overlook him.
Why?
Because he's known for twatting fellas.
Well, I don't actually know if it was a man. It said someone's death.
Oh, okay. But a bar fight. You wouldn't call it a bar fight, you'd call it an attack, wouldn't you? If it were a man on a woman.
No one is saying he started a bar fight with one person. He was involved in a bar fight that resulted in someone's death.
Right. Okay. So that could mean anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You like latched onto this situation in your mind to discredit it.
Yeah. But I got there in the end on my own.
No, you didn't. I had to tell you. Anyway, Lonnie. Lecia had actually met Lonnie while he was in prison. This came about when she had gone to the prison with a friend of hers to visit this friend's boyfriend, and while there, she actually became friendly with Lonnie, and the pair became pen pals.
Okay.
When he left prison, he moved into the same apartment building as Lecia, and he was said to have expressed a romantic interest in her, but Lecia was not interested in him.
Okay. I tried defending him.
Well, this is the thing as well, right? Her sister did say about her that she was the kind of person that, she wouldn't kind of be... I'm not saying she'd be rude about it or anything like that, but she'd kind of tell you straight.
Yeah.
She'd be like, I'm not interested. Leave it there.
Shag off.
And sometimes men don't take kindly to that.
Especially if they got your stereo back.
So where are we at here? Are you for or against Lonnie?
Well, I'm a bit against now. It doesn't sound good. Where are you going with it?
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean there weren't multiple people who was after her. So I'm none the wiser at the minute.
I could just be leading you down the garden path here. You've got no clue.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Do you ever listen to a case and just listen to it? Like, you're very much kind of, you really want to work it out. Like, you take it as a challenge to work it out, don't you?
Yeah. So the way I look at it, I don't know if this is normal
It's a puzzle to you.
Yeah. I don't know if this is normal behaviour. I want to solve it before the detectives have in the documentary.
Yeah.
Before they've dropped the bombshell of who it is. That's my aim. I'm watching it because I want to solve it before they announce it.
Yeah, again, because everything's a competition to you.
Yeah.
It's win or lose.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're alone in that. I think a lot of people do it.
Oh.
There's sometimes, like, if I'm watching something, there's sometimes it's like it's obvious. You see where it's going.
Yeah.
But I never really make an effort to do that because I just want to hear right. I want to hear the rough work. Do you get what I mean? I want to hear why they went this direction and why they came back round or why they diverted there.
Yeah.
I want all of the whys in between, Whereas you're kind of like, immediate result now. So, obviously, with that connection to Lecia, police wanted to have a word with Lonnie. Now, I'd say by this point, you're thinking, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I can get it. And while speaking with police, they did notice a few scratches on Lonnie's upper body.
Oh, for fuck's sake. So, yeah, okay.
He tells the police that he had received the marks a week or so before, but on closer examination, they appeared to have been fresher than this. Lonnie claimed that on the night Lecia was murdered, he was with his girlfriend. But his girlfriend later came forward to say that this was not true, and also that she was not the one who had left the scratches on him. So she's a little bit sus of all Lon.
Right. When you say scratches,
yeah,
are they like defensive scratches or sexual scratches?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen the pictures of it. But for his girlfriend to be like, I didn't leave them on him.
The sexual scratches.
I'm guessing they're nail scratches. It's not like a scrum across the face. They said upper body. I'm guessing chest, maybe arm or back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of a thing.
I don't know what other hype is about that. Like if I
scrum the fuck out of someone.
Yeah, if I had been intimate with someone and they carved me back up.
Get off me, you bastard, I'm not in the mood anymore. Yeah, no, I would agree with you. Now, something else that was a bit shady was that Lecia's stereo had been previously spotted in Lonnie's apartment.
Okay, I have a new theory.
Okay.
He's the one who kicked the door in and nicked oh no, but yeah, right. Okay, I've got it.
You cracked the code.
Yeah, he kicked the door in.
Yeah.
Nicked the stereo and the 50 quid and that. Yeah. While he was in there, he got the spare key. No, he didn't get the spare key. No, he didn't. He kicked the door in and he got the stereo and the 50 quid. Fucked off. And he was like, right, now I can get a piece of her. No, I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of this Lonnie.
Yeah.
Yeah? Because you said he was into her. So then he went back up and is like, I saw a bloke trying to sell this on the street. He tried selling it to me. So I kicked lumps out of him and brought your stereo back for you.
Mm.
Or if he didn't want to seem like that, he was like, I bought it back for you. Made a pass. She denied him. So he killed her.
That's kind of the same theory as before. You're just putting your bet onto Lonnie. I said, is your bet on the table? You said I'm all in.
Yeah, no. But at this point, we didn't know about
Yeah, you
Lonnie.
didn't have all the information. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is why I think you need to wait back a little bit before going all in.
And it's not the exact same. I didn't say...
Yeah, but it's still the savior complex thing. You know what I mean? And it's, it's the dirty bastardation of the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, right, it's not looking good for Lonnie at this point, but without any solid evidence against him, they struggle to find anything to charge him with. And sadly, Lecia's case went cold for decades.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I didn't think it'd be a cold case.
So it's in the 70s, so DNA evidence, it's not really a thing.
It's not strong as it is, and you're in the water for ages.
Exactly. So that any evidence that was there that could have been preserved for later, there wasn't really any. It had been destroyed. But her mother didn't resign herself to the notion that that was how Lecia's story would end. She said that every time she would watch the likes of Forensic Files or heard of a cold case being solved, she always thought that, maybe one day Lecia's murder could have a conclusion. And the thing is, Neil, Mammy Sally, she was right.
Yeah, I hope they bagged the knife up. Because that weren't in the water.
It was not.
So, the knife, fingerprints on the knife.
For 2 points, where was the knife left?
It were on the mat, on the floor, on the bath mat.
It was indeed. Well done.
So, hang on a minute. He'd been in prison, so he'd have had his fingerprints taken. So surely they could have ruled him out if they found... Did they find fingerprints on the knife?
I mean, I didn't hear anything about that.
All right, they were gloved up then.
Now, fast forward over 30 years to 2013. DNA analysis has come on leaps and bounds, and the decision was made to reopen Lecia's case. The detective who had been tasked with looking into Lecia's case, Hilary Gordon, she was re-examining crime scene photos when she noticed something. She realised that the blindfold and gag that had been placed around Lecia, where the knots had been tied, were at the back of her head, and this fabric had not been submerged in water. Now, luckily, these items were still in evidence storage, and the knots had not been untied, which would preserve the DNA evidence that may have been contained within them. So, with this, they were able to test for DNA within the knots of the fabric.
I'm surprised I missed that.
Neil, it's not a competition. I don't mind that you do that and you try to work it out, but it's not a fucking game show. This is real life.
Yeah.
A person.
Yeah.
You okay? I'm not scolding you.
It feels like it.
I've just made a tactless joke of saying for 2 points, do you remember this part of the case? So I'm no fucking better than you.
Yeah.
But you just said, how did I miss that?
Yeah, because it seems so obvious to me now.
Yeah. But like I said, I'm a hypocrite because I just made a comment about that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could tell you it was in your head. How did I? Not the investigators. How did I miss that? How did we? We, you and the investigators.
I'm there with them.
Now, on the halter neck top, which had been used as a gag, they were able to extract DNA from Lecia as well as an unknown male, but they were not able to obtain a full profile. Then in 2016, with further advances in DNA forensics, they were finally able to get this full profile. this was due to a new system called MVAC. MVAC can pick up 39 times more DNA than swabbing, and it can also extract DNA from surfaces such as rocks, bricks, or fabric, which are generally more difficult to gain material from.
Right.
So with this full profile, they're now thinking, we finally got our guy. We finally got something more solid against Lonnie. But when compared against his DNA, it's not a match. You okay?
Yeah.
He's grinning at me.
Because I think I solved it.
Have you cracked the code?
I think I solved it when I were all in. I'm ready to cash out.
So what do you think they do next? It's not Lonnie. Their hopes and dreams are shattered.
Well,
where are they going next?
If they have a brain cell between them, they should be like, right, there were no forced entry. Who would have a key? The apartment manager. Let's look into him.
Well, they're not going to go and track down someone immediately. They're going to enter it into the national database.
Yeah, so put him in.
What do you mean put him in? That's not how it works.
Oh, we'll put... Yeah.
The national database is all the people who've had their DNA submitted.
Yeah.
For, whatever reason,
yeah, so
they have to give DNA. They need to... you have to enter something in to match against the database.
Yeah, so put that DNA in and see if you get a hit.
Well, they do. They put it into the database and they do get a match. It was a match to a man named Patrick Michael McCabe. And Patrick was the apartment manager who had guided Lecia's mother to her body.
Apologise now, you bastard.
What am I apologising for?
Because you were questioning everything I said. But when...
No. I had more issues with you defending Lonnie's involvement in the death of a person. That's kind of not to do with this case. Me and you've had many discussions about fights that result in someone's death.
Yeah.
And we have very different opinions on it.
Yeah.
I personally think there should be harsher punishments in place for that. You don't think there should be. You think it's just a fight.
It depends. It's not that easy to say. But yeah,
that's more the side you veer towards, no?
Yeah, I wasn't as strong as you on like string them up.
See, I think for me, right, I understand, and it's a completely different thing if it's self-defense. That is a separate fucking issue and should be handled as such, in my opinion, right? But if we're talking about like scumbags going out drinking and getting into fights, throw the fucking book at them. I think that is outrageous that we downplay that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where me and you kind of have a slight difference of opinion. You look at it as it's a fight and something bad happened. I look at it as you're getting into a fight when you know something bad can happen.
Yeah.
I think, and that's kind of why I was kind of like, what do you mean by that? When you were so defensive. It isn't about Lonnie. It's about someone's death.
Yeah.
Resulting from a bar fight. But anyway, the apartment manager, how are you feeling?
Gleeful.
So when I was writing this up, I was like, oh, this is an interesting one. Yeah. As soon as I went to say police talk to the apartment manager, I was like, he's gonna guess this. And your eyes lit up as soon as I said it. And I was like, oh, is that a good thing because he's like figured it out, or is it a bad thing because he's going to harp on it and ruin it if any of the listeners hadn't thought about it? Let me know, listeners, did Neil ruin it for you or were you right there with him? They're just going to lie anyway and say, no, I knew. I was right there. Anyway, Patrick Michael McCabe, apartment manager. Patrick was 20 years old at the time, and as the manager, had keys to all the apartments.
No shit.
A year following the murder in 1978, Patrick moved to Florida and never returned to Salt Lake City.
Wonder why.
Now, I'm sure you're wondering how Paddy's DNA ended up in the national database.
Because he's a rapist.
Yeah, the reason he was in the national database was because in September of 1999, he sexually assaulted a minor, for which he served 1 year.
1?
Yeah, 1 year.
How... Do you have information on how that happened?
No. Even that, sexually assaulted a minor.
No, I don't mean how the sexual assault happened. I mean, how it happened, he only got a year.
Well, I mean, because people don't take sexual assault very seriously.
On children?
Evidently. He got a year for sexually assaulting a child.
America, like...
What do you mean America? It's just as bad over here. They don't do anything about it.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, America.
The crazy thing is, though, if he hadn't been such a dirty, disgusting fucking bastard, we may have never known the identity of Lecia's killer, which came to light 39 years and 1 day after her murder.
So if they'd have got it day before, it'd have been the 39th anniversary.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But do you see what I mean? He could have gotten away with it.
Yeah.
But he had to be a dirty, molesting bastard.
Yeah. Fuck. I it's the stereo thing now. Am I right with the stereo?
What do you mean? Are you right with the stereo? You think that
The hero complex
Patrick
thing. He. So if it's him, did he fake the break-in to nick the stereo to bring it back? Be like, look what I did for you. Look what I got.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't report much more in the stereo. I'm not entirely sure what happened there.
Right. So I take it this apartment manager, he didn't like, he weren't talking freely.
Yeah, no, he was. And that's what's quite odd about it as well to me. So he essentially gotten away with this, committed another horrific act years later, which essentially tripped him up.
Mm.
And then when he's arrested on the 1st of March 2017, he's interviewed by the police, and Patrick was fairly upfront and honest about his crimes. He said, quote, "I went up to her apartment. It was dark. I raped her. Once that sexual arousal was released, I guess it all came into panic, fear. What am I going to do now? And that's when I decided I had to kill her." So Patrick is essentially just quite kind of bluntly saying his side of it that night. He's being quite, honest to me sounds like a more positive word to use, but he's being, I suppose, upfront. He's being quite upfront that I had a sexual desire.
Mm.
I was going to overpower a woman.
Yeah.
And do what I wanted. Well, yes, sorry, girl, yes.
This is what I mean. Like, I don't think people give police enough credit for restraining themselves. Especially if you had a cop who had a 16-year-old daughter there at the arrest and hearing him saying that, like, I was done with her, but now panic set in.
You know,
you wouldn't get me off him.
Do you know, that's something that kind of pisses me off, though. When people say, like, oh, I have a daughter the same age, therefore... I get the point you're making, but it shouldn't take you having, you know, a mother, a sister, a daughter to respect women and want them to be safe.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
You
like,
know,
I don't have a 16-year-old daughter, and I would be fucking kicking lumps out of him.
No, I'm just saying in the scenario, because we hear it so often that you gave, you know, an officer saying something like, oh, I had a daughter that age. And, you know, oh, it affected me more because of that. And it's like,
yeah.
You know, I get the sentiment you're trying to put across, but I think it's a little bit, what's the word?
No, I know what you mean. And I think I'll listen as well.
It's misplaced. I don't know. You get what I mean. Yeah. It shouldn't take that for you to suddenly gain respect for women and girls or whoever in this situation. Now, with no defensive wounds found on Lecia's body, police believe that he entered the apartment and tied her up as she slept before sexually assaulting her at knife point. He then brought her into the bathroom where he strangled her to death and left her body face down in the water. Following his confession, Patrick was extradited back to Utah to stand trial. In April of 2017, Patrick pleaded guilty. While entering his plea, the judge asked Patrick what was in his head at the time when he entered Lecia's apartment. Patrick replied, quote, "To rape Miss Schollmeyer." So again, that's Patrick, quite blunt.
Yeah.
To the point.
I honestly thought he was going to be like one thing and one thing only sort of thing.
I mean, essentially,
Yeah.
without saying as many words, yeah. Now, because of his plea deal, it meant that Lecia's family were spared what would have surely been a very painful trial. But it also means that Patrick was only pleading guilty to murder in the second degree, as well as aggravated burglary, and his charge of aggravated sexual assault was dismissed.
What?
Yeah. He's saying it right there, but that's part of the deal. So he can essentially say that, like, make that bold statement, and it doesn't really have any bearing at this point.
That's fucking outrageous.
Yeah, it is.
Like, where's the justice for her?
Well, because of the deal, it also meant that Patrick would not be sentenced to death. But that's not what it was about for Lecia's family anyway. Her sister stated, quote, "We don't want the death penalty. We just want to make sure he is not in a position to hurt another person."
Prisoners are going to sort him out.
Patrick looks like he's had a life. He's a mess. Like, he looks like... Right, do you remember the other day I woke you up for work?
Yeah.
Middle of a heat wave, like I said, and you'd hardly slept, so I left you to sleep for another, like, 45 minutes.
And you were laughing at me.
And whenever I have to wake Neil up, I have to call him at least 5 or 6 times, like minimum.
Yeah.
Before he'll wake up. When he finally woke up, he sat bolt upright. Hair was fucked all over the place. He was drenched in sweat. His eyes, because the light was hitting him, and he was just like I never seen anything like it in my life. That is Patrick's mugshot.
Right.
No good.
Well, it's hot in Florida, isn't it?
That's a fair point, yeah. We don't know that life.
Mm.
Before the court, Lecia's mother Sally said, quote, "Imagine the gall that he walked up to that door and walked in with me, knowing what he had done." She went on to say, quote, "I cannot fathom what kind of psychopath could be so involved in the aftermath and still maintain his innocence to the police."
Okay, so I think where I'm at now is Lonnie kicked the door in. He took the stereo. He took the money. And then, just by chance, either someone told Lecia that Lonnie had it, or she walked past the apartment and saw it through the window or whatever. She ended up getting the stereo back. And the apartment manager had nothing to do with the stereo. I think he'd been wanting to do this for a while, but because of the break-in, I think he saw it as his, like, opportune time to do it, so it'd be like some of the focus on the investigation would be on the break-in.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what he did.
Yeah.
I think he was like, this is it.
So you think you don't believe him that it was a case of kind of more in that moment? You think it was very, very much premeditated?
Yes.
Mm. Well, for his crimes, Patrick was sentenced to 10 years to life in June of 2017.
10 fucking years. I've done that with you.
Yeah, 5 years to life for the murder and 5 years for aggravated burglary.
I've served longer with you.
The judge stated that, had he the option to impose a longer minimum sentence, he would have. While addressing Lecia's family, the judge said, quote, "I cannot imagine, nor can I sufficiently empathise with your feelings that you have had to go through for some 40 years. That has to be painful and unbearable and difficult to deal with."
That is outrageous.
Yeah.
This is a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah. And it's frightening as well. Like, Patrick was 20 at the time. Like, he had his whole life ahead of him. I know it sounds, I don't know, maybe it does sound, maybe it doesn't. It sounds a bit stupid to say it. I always find it really concerning when it's someone so young. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
I mean, when you look back at a lot of these killers and you realise how young quite a lot of them were, I'm always like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
You know?
But another issue with that is someone else who's got it in their head, but they want to fucking do something like this, they'll look at cases like this and go, oh, so it's not as bad as I thought. I thought I'd be getting gas chamber. Instead, I'm only looking at 10 years.
Yeah, like, I mean, hopefully the 10-year is like, he's not getting out in 10 years. Hopefully that's more of just, that's the minimum they had to impose, but he's pretty much in for life. But, I mean, look, I don't know what the system's like in Utah. Like, I don't, is 10 years a possible 10 years? Or is it like, that's kind of just something we say, you're pretty much looking at life?
Well, that was 2013, wasn't it?
2017, he was sentenced.
Oh. So he could be up for parole then? Next year?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Patrick was said to have remained stoic throughout the proceedings and chose not to speak, although he did write a letter for the judge to read to the court on his behalf. It stated that there was, quote, no word strong enough to express his remorse. Quote, I cannot give you back what I have taken from this earth. I wish I could. To say how sorry I deeply am does not begin to seem enough. I cannot undo the evil that I did. I can only hope that justice done today can give you some peace in your lives.
Right, he can get shagged, and I'll tell you why. Why did you if you're that sorry, why did you let that family suffer for 39 years?
Yeah.
Bastard.
Yeah, well, Lecia's sister, Bridget, she did have something to say in response to Patrick. Bridget said, quote, I appreciate he doesn't try to blame the victim or mock our pain, but that's all I can appreciate at this time. She did also say that she appreciates that he did not hold back on the details and was cooperative with the investigation. And she also stated, quote, he doesn't want to make us suffer any longer than we already have. So I like that she can acknowledge that once it's, once all's done and said, it's like, right, well, at least he's given us the information now.
Yeah, but they're the ones I'm more sus of. Because...
What, you think they're just throwing shite at the wall kind of thing?
No, I don't think they're throwing shite at the wall. I think there is some truth to it, but they're hoping. I have it in my head. The more details they give, there's just as much they're leaving out.
Yeah.
They're confident, but the investigators will be happy with the information they've got, but they won't dig anymore.
Yeah, which often happens.
Yeah, so
it often happens whether it's a single murder case where, like you said, they've got enough to get what they need to get the conviction, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Or if it's a case of a serial killer and they're like, well, we may not have all the people who are a victim of their crimes, but we have enough to get on with it. And it's like, yeah, but what about this person, that person,
Yeah.
And again, it's the knock-on effect. It's not just that person. It's their fucking family, their kids, their whoever, Now, her sister also made a point to address Patrick and say, quote, it bothers me a lot that you are not being charged with rape. You get away with rape because you murdered her. And I love that she made that point. I think all too often people have to sacrifice something they shouldn't have to just to get that result or lessen the blow of having to go through a trial, kind of like what we were saying. You're getting enough to get that result technically, but at what cost?
Yeah.
I think we can all understand why this happens, but it doesn't necessarily make it any easier. Sally, Lecia's mother, said, quote, not knowing is a really terrible thing. For 40 years, I never thought I'd live long enough. I'm just glad they found him. At the time of her murder, Lecia was just 16 years of age and living on her own. Of course, there are situations where a 16-year-old does become independent, but overall, I would argue that the average 16-year-old is not equipped to be doing so. Having said that, the attack on Lecia, no one, no matter their age or capability, can ever be prepared to deal with something like this. And I think it's fair to say, her age had no bearing on the situation. The burden of accountability should be firmly placed on the grotesque, violent, entitled actions of Patrick Michael McCabe. Well, Neil, that is the murder of Sharon Lecia Schollmeyer. Any thoughts?
As soon as you said apartment manager, my eyebrows were lifted. and I was fucking right.
Yeah.
The scenario I'd got was wrong, but with the information I'd got at the time,
You sussed it fairly quickly.
yeah, I think it was a good attempt. But yeah, this isn't about me. Yeah, outrageous. 10 years. Like I said, I said jokingly, I've served that with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you think about how quick, we've been together 10 years and you think about how quick that's gone.
Yeah.
He essentially could just be doing that.
Yeah. Now, I just want to note with this episode, so I was actually looking, I'd heard about this case a while ago and I kind of bookmarked and thought, oh, that's an interesting one. I want to cover that.
Mm.
When I was looking for the Forensic Files episode about Annie Leigh, I came across this episode. I didn't realise Forensic Files had done an episode on it. And they had her mother on it speaking and her sister and all that. And, her mother was obviously a fan of Forensic Files. She said every time I was watching Forensic Files and all this kind of thing. But yeah, that's one thing I do want to note. So obviously Forensic Files, a TV show, slight bit of entertainment factor added into it. They were talking about Lonnie a lot in that. I was really struggling to find more information on him outside of that episode.
Right.
So obviously the detectives are speaking about him, people involved in the case. But yeah, I even trying to find out about the bar fight. Really struggling to find information on that.
I don't know then.
Poor old Lonnie.
Yeah.
I mean, apart from the bar fight thing, he shouldn't have done that.
Could have been self-defense.
I mean, it could have been, but was it though?
Probably not.
So before we move on to an oddity, I said it to Neil, I have to show you a picture of Patrick.
Okay.
Now, what do you think of that?
He looks like he's seen some shit.
Isn't that you waking up in the middle of the night, startled, sweaty?
Absolutely fucking not.
No, not that it looks like you. I mean, look at the look in his eyes, the hair, the hair disheveled. That is waking up, in the middle of a heat wave, not knowing what's going on.
That is downright disrespectful.
I'm screaming at you to get up. He's been through it.
Yeah, he looks...
He also looks purple.
Yeah, he's pissy.
No, but it's not even like the red tint. It's purple. He looks like a plum.
No, but they do, don't they?
His whole face? I mean, you hear of like whiskey nose, but that's something else. I've got quite a lot of redness in my face.
That one could
dark circles.
That one could be red wine.
I mean, he's literally changing to the colour of it.
Yeah. So, oddity.
Oddity. We're going to talk about a woman named Harriet Moore.
Okay.
So, Harriet Moore was a woman originally from Sligo who, after the death of her parents when she was just 14 years of age, decided to present in a more masculine manner, and in doing so, protecting herself as well as obtaining employment and being able to support herself.
Oh, because it were easier for fellas to get jobs.
It was easier for men to get jobs, but also protecting herself against sexual assault and what have you.
Okay.
Now, she first worked as a grazer before making the move to England under the name John Murphy. And while in England, she worked as a drover's lad before being promoted to groom and then footboy.
Footboy?
Footboy, you mentioned it in your last Neil's Nuggets. Do you remember?
Footmen?
Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's basically you go for it, like you're just kind of doing everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I latched onto that. I did a U. I was like, oh, footboy. I sound like I'm saying fuckboy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm familiar with this terminology now.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I don't give a fuck about that now. I'm done with it.
Because I explained it to you.
Yeah, but now you've moved on and you don't care. And I'm finally excited to hyperfixate on something.
Yeah.
You've ripped the rug out from under me now, I feel.
But for listeners who don't know, right, a footman, it's a bit like a butler. For a rich family would fucking take them on. But it weren't like just butler duties, it were anything, weren't it? Opening car doors and...
They did the lot.
Did anything, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he did it, and she did it as a lad. She did it...
Well, the posing as a lad, yeah.
Yeah.
John Murphy.
Yeah.
She went by. Now, following her discharge from this job after 2 years, she then went to work in a salt yard. Now, while there, she was lodging with a woman named Lacey, who discovered that Harriet was actually a woman.
What, like, went to Copperfield and was like, where's your Mickey?
I don't know if she walked in her changing or... You know,
why are you always sat down pissing?
I don't know what exactly happened, but either way, Lacey found out.
Hmm.
And Lacey, who was evidently a prick, was reported to have blackmailed Harriet into marrying her daughter Matilda, who was pregnant at that time, or else she would expose her.
What?
Oh, yeah. So Harriet, feeling like she has no choice, marries Matilda.
As a man. But, right. Does Matilda know?
I would imagine so, yes.
Right.
It's a ruse, this.
It's an odd one.
It's awful that they did this to her. So Harriet is not only supporting herself, but Matilda, her child, but Lacey as well. That was part of the agreement. You're going to support all of us, or I'm going to expose you.
See,
She was a prick.
They should have respect for him, been like, do you know, as a woman, I completely understand why you're doing it.
Yeah. Especially with her daughter, you know, pregnant and unwed. You're doing this to avoid the stigma.
Yeah.
So can you not understand why another woman is doing this to protect herself and support herself?
Yeah.
Fuck Lacey.
And they're just focusing on the bastard. Not having a bastard.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So, like I said, Harriet gets on with it. She feels like she has no choice. She marries Matilda. But sometime into this marriage, Matilda falls pregnant again.
So she's at it.
She's taking the piss.
Yeah.
No respect.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And at this point, Harriet thought to herself, they're just taking the absolute piss here. And she decides to leave and find work elsewhere. She's done. I'm not fucking entertaining this anymore.
Yeah, but you got to feel for Matilda because she's not going to get any Mickey at home, is she? Like, we're still talking about a straight woman with needs.
Yeah.
So she's going to go off, but fuck's sake, put a glove on it.
Well, this is quite a few years ago. We're talking 1800s.
Yeah.
The thing, I get what you're saying. Like, I'm not saying that Matilda should, like, just fucking give up on any of her wants or desires.
Yeah.
But you don't get to have someone else supporting you in this fake fucking marriage for you to go off and do what you want. If you're going to be in on this, then you're all in on it and you're living it and you're all fucking getting on with it.
Yeah.
You don't get to go and have another child for Harriet to have to fucking support.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah, I agree with that. But to do with the gloving up, 1800s, that's got nothing to do with it. Romans 5,000 years ago were bagging up.
Yeah, but it's not a continuous line.
Oh, there's a break in the cycle.
What?
What? There's a break in the cycle?
That's a different civilization.
Yeah. But it's before, innit? So...
What? What do you mean it's before?
So
Romans were before 1800s, yes.
Yeah. So there's no reason why Victorians would... If we know about it, the Victorians knew about it.
You do realise only a few decades ago it was hard to get contraceptives in Ireland.
Right. Oh. Okay.
You also realise only in the last few years they've brought in a scheme for the contraceptive pill.
Yeah.
To try and make it more accessible to people.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm questioning why you're questioning it.
Well, if the Romans could do it, the Victorians should have been able to.
Anyway, Harriet's had enough. She said, shove it up your arse. She's off to find work elsewhere.
Good woman.
Well, the problem was she was responsible for providing for wife and child. And so she was prosecuted for wife desertion.
What?
I mean, at this point, everyone believes she's a man. She's John Murphy.
Yeah, but right, at that point, wouldn't you get it out?
Basically, it was at this point where Harriet thought to herself, fuck this. She appeared before the court presenting in a much more feminine manner than anyone had seen before.
Yeah.
And upon realisation that Harriet was in fact a woman, she and Matilda were divorced and Harriet was excused of her obligations to not only the marriage, but to fatherhood.
Good. I'm happy with that.
It was in 1825 that the news broke of Harriet's cross-dressing, which she had carried on for about 6 or 7 years, and probably would have continued had it not been for that old hag, Lacey. What do you think of that?
Bitch. I don't use that word often.
Absolute fucker.
Yeah.
Horrible woman.
Yeah.
Like, fucking Harriet is getting the job done. She's getting on with her life. She's keeping things fucking moving. And then you've got this little tosser.
Yeah.
Rocking up, you know? And for all we know, Matilda was against this. I don't actually know. I'm chatting shit about her. She could have been under her mother's control.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just pleased for Harriet how it ended, because they could have easily gone the other way and been like, too late, you signed the fucking document now.
Yeah. Well, they also wouldn't have wanted a same-sex marriage back then, so they were kind of like, oh, let's kind of just forget about that. Let's get rid of that.
Yeah, they could have snuffed her out.
Oh, Christ.
Keep it quiet, yeah.
But no, I mean, like I said, I'm kind of shitting on Matilda there, but for all I know, Matilda, I'm like, no, I don't want to be fucking married to her. I don't want to do this. I'm trying to get it in with, you know,
well, you could.
Whoever. I don't know who the father of her second baby was. I don't know. Maybe it could have been the same fella. Maybe she was having a whole relationship with this other fella, the father of her children.
Well, marry him.
And being supported by, well, maybe he didn't want to. I don't know what was going on back then. Either way, I know one thing for fucking sure. Poor old Harriet. She was put through the fucking ringer.
Yeah.
By that woman.
Yeah, but like I said, good ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did read that she went on to do, domestic service or something. So, hopefully she was all right in the end and she kind of found her way, one way or another.
Do you know the moral of the story? The Irish and the British shun coerce.